Okay, I'm back. It's Sunday, January the 4th, 2026. And the time is 21:16, 9:16 p.m. I am I'm using the Viticera Tarot. I'm going to do a Celtic cross with these. See what comes out for y'all or us. See what comes out for us. I am seeing some things while I'm shuffling. The Chariot is a good sign, right? Right, guys? The Chariot's a good sign. Six of Wands is a good sign. Saw the Seven of Swords. Eight of Pentacles. Well, you know what? Ooh, Ten of Swords. Somebody does not want you to work, does not want us to work. Work could mean like in a relationship, actual jobs, business owners, not have our creative ideas get up off the ground. Five of Pentacles. All right. I think I've shuffled these enough. Let's see. Five of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Let's see what's going on. Present position is the King of Wands. Well, that's not bad. That's actually pretty good. The immediate influence is the King of Cups. The goal of the destiny is the King of Swords. There's a lot of kings. The High Priestess is the distant past. Maybe there's mysteries or something, secrets. Recent past events is the Hermit. Future influence is the Seven of Swords. And I said I saw that while I was shuffling. And here it is again. Popping back up. You are represented by the Six of Wands. Hey now. Like you. Environmental factors is the Three of Wands. Your inner emotions, the Eight of Swords. Ooh. The final result is the Two of Cups. Well, I don't know. Let's see. Let me grab my water bottle. It just fell. Okay. The King of Wands. The King of Wands is your present position, where you are presently. In life, in your mind. So, or just you overall. A good communicator, wise. Extrovert, authoritarian. So you're in control. Everything is working out for you. You're moving forward with patience, with passion. You know what you want. You know how to get there. You're an honest person, so, you're easy to do business with. People, are inspired by you. You're easy to do business with because you're a good communicator and you're honest. And typically good communicators that are honest, people don't spend much time doubting them, because most of the times when they speak, It's honest, it's straightforward, um, it's authoritarian. It's someone who's not trying to hurt you with their directness, with their um, point of view. Like I'm just giving you my experience, or I'm just giving you, or I'm just telling you. You do with it as you will. I'm not forcing you to take this information. You are welcome to do the direct opposite of everything that I'm saying. You know what I mean? You're the person that is like, hey, I went through this already. But you got charisma, you're wise, and people kind of others expect you to provide this creativity, this honest, wise opinion. They also expect for you to, the way that you give them the information, you also live by it. They expect you to, and you do. That also makes you trustworthy because you're not it's different when like somebody is telling you something and then you look at their life and their life is crumbling. So it's like, how you giving me advice and your whole shit's fucked up? Like, it's like people who the control freaks, they always want to control people, but their life is always falling apart. Like, how you trying to control somebody else and your shit's not together? Like, your shit's not hermetically sealed here. Like, this isn't locked up tight. This is a mess. This is chaos. You're over here in so and so's business because you don't want to deal with what the fuck going on in your own house. You got a mess going on over here. The pipes them broke, the windows busted out, the locks need to be changed, floors need to be swept. Like, you got a lot of work to do over here, and you worried about the next door neighbor. Just an example, of course, right? But people don't mind taking your advice because when they look at your house is immaculate. Anything that's out of order is immediately put back into order or put back into order with time and patience. You're focusing on you. 9 times out of 10, they had to come to you to get this information. You did not come to them and bring unsolicited advice to them. They came to you. You were over somewhere in your yard, minding your business, doing what you need to do best for you. That's the King of Wands. That's the King of Wands. Action oriented. Somebody with vision, enthusiasm. Somebody who's trying to go somewhere. But most importantly, somebody focused on their goddamn self and what they need to do to be the best that they can be. They're not trying to be a leader. And I mentioned that in one of my past readings. Leadership is not something that you are trying to do. You're just doing it. you know, you know what I mean? Like, leaders don't get picked. They just happen because that's what you do. It's just something that you do naturally. Same here. You're over in your life leading your own life. You're not in the next door neighbor's life leading their life too. But again, you're not a control freak, basically. Okay, the immediate influence is this King of Cups. Another leadership card, another person who's in control of themselves is a king. And I said that there are 3 kings out here. The King of Wands is the the present position. The immediate influence is you managing your emotions, being calm, being professional, being compassionate. That's either you, another attribute to you, or something that's getting ready to happen to you where you're going to need to exercise that portion of your character. Like, there is a charismatic person, and then there's a person who also, if you irritate that charismatic person, what do you get at that point? That could be, why this King of Cups is sideways. Somebody trying to throw you off of your emotional balance, trying to throw you out of your normally strong, honest, inspirational, extrovert, wise position, and throw you into a fit, upset you over something that is quite clearly unjust. Because somebody in a leadership position is very likely um, focused on justice, balance. And I'll say that too. Well, like I mentioned about folks who control freaks. When they don't have their own shit together, they think they can leave their house and go control somebody else. That's the same thing about people who are jealous of people who can remain balanced. I see that daily in the job that I work. People who are already upset want you to be upset too. And when you don't get upset, that upsets them even more. Like, sir or ma'am, you are who you are. You are feeling this way, and that's understandable. It is absolutely unjust to think that everybody within a 2-foot radius of you needs to be in the same emotional state that you're in. But that could be someone, that's a good example. That could be someone coming in to the King of Wands life trying to do that. Trying to gain an emotional imbalance out of this person. Trying to push them to be in the same feelings that they have. They're emotionally imbalanced. So I'm pissed. So I'm going to go piss somebody else off. I'm depressed. So I'm going to go depress somebody else. Like, that's their thought process. Like, I'm this. So I'm going to go make somebody else feel that way too. Misery and company. You know how it is. That could be. Could be another attribute just of this King of Wands in their immediate influence on this present position. Or it could be somebody coming from outside this King of Wands as a sideways King of Cups, trying to affect that person's stability mentally. So the goal is to, and I mentioned just, and I know I of course, saw the King of Swords, but I feel like, again, as a leader, being analytical and being rational, emotionally balanced, focused on a just or balanced situation, that kind of comes along with being a leader. I don't know how you could be considered a leader and have imbalances. I just don't to understand that. That's why a lot of the leaders, quote unquote, don't like to really air out any mistakes, because that shows an imbalance, you know. um, but either way, the King of Swords is the actual goal. The King of Swords is either what this King of Wands should remain as once this King of Cups comes in from, fucking outfield with whatever craziness that they're trying to throw this King of Wands off on. This King of Wands needs to understand that they're the boss. They're the one that's honest. They're the one that's truthful. They're the authority. They have the discipline. They're in control. They're the ones that people look to as a leader. This King of Cups clearly is not. If you're imbalanced, clearly other people don't see you like they see this King of Wands. That might be why this King of Cups is coming all the way from outfield with the bullshit. But the King of Wands, all the King of Wands has to remember is, hey, I don't have to argue with you. I don't have to tongue wrestle with you. Like I said just a moment ago, you either going to take my information that I just gave you and you can use it, or do as thou wilt. Get the fuck out of my face. Like, you don't like it? So what? Like, what you want me to do? What do you want me to do? You got the truth? Okay. There's nothing else I can do for you, sir or ma'am. I gave you the truth. I showed you the way. What the fuck else you want me to do? Like, I have to get back to what I'm doing, sir or ma'am. And that's the most professional, fair thing to do. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm not trying to get in your way. I'm giving you the truth as it is, and I'm going to move forward. Do with it as you will. But I feel like and I'm just going to go with the whole King of Cups being a dick. Because, of course, you're going to have some calmness and you're going to have these attributes, I feel like, in a leader. A King of Cups and a King of Wands, I feel like, go hand in hand as a leader, as well as a King of Swords. I feel like, obviously, King of Wands, King of Cups, King of Swords, they're all going to be a part of the Emperor, who is the leader, Which leads me to believe that 9 times out of 10, this is somebody coming out of left field with this bullshit to throw this King of Wands off, to interrupt this King of Wands. And I said that too because the High Priestess is next. And it's something about like something that's unrevealed. This is what's gone on in the past. So maybe the King of Cups knows of something that the King of Wands does not. And they coming from fucking outfield with this craziness. And it appears to be craziness because there's something that the King of Wands is unaware of, unconscious to, doesn't know what's happening, what the fuck, like, again, the goal is just to remain fair and remain just and logical and analytical. Because I don't know what's going on behind the background. All I know is what you're saying to me right now. I can smell your breath. I see what you're wearing. I know what time of day it is. I know the date. Like, let's talk about what's going on now. I know my intuition is telling me is some underlying shit. But I'm not going to address that because that's none of my business. Until you actually say that, I'm going off of what the fuck is happening right now in my face. And what's happening right now is woo-wop the bam. So here's the answer to what is happening right now. Here's the outcome to what is happening right now. What I'm not going to do is envelop myself any deeper. Like, I'm not going to use my intuition. And that's an analytical portion of that. That's the discipline to it. Because you can, as an intuitive, look too deeply into something. You can use your psychic abilities, your psychic energy, in order to look deeper into something. But it's always about do as thou wilt. This person, the King of Wands, has a choice. And as a leader, it is his choice whether or not he wants to use that ability. He doesn't have to. Even if this King of Cups knows that this person is psychic, knows that this person can see or is very perceptive and analytical and can tell by the smell on his breath that he's been sitting at the bar for the last 4.5 hours. The King of Wands doesn't have to state that. He doesn't have to entertain that. I don't have to get off tangent. Why the fuck are you in my face? Let's stay on task. What do you want? How can I help you? That's where this distant past comes in. There's something missing, and this King of Wands needs to just step back and say, I'm not going to try to deal. I don't have to dig deep. I'm not going to. I could if I wanted to, but I'm not because I don't. And there's nothing that this King of Cups can do to emotionally trigger this King of Wands to do so. I imagine that's going to piss that person off a little bit more. Uh, that's going to probably irritate them just a little bit, and it always does. What recently came into being? That's interesting. The Hermit recently came into being. Something, um, maybe this King of Wands is recently in their leadership authoritarian position. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Um, Maybe they're just now realizing that you don't, there's a duality to, like I just described, having psychic energy. You don't always have to use it. And yeah, it's there, so's my left hand, but do I have to always fucking use it? No. You don't always have to use it. It's there. It's fully functional. Whenever I need it, it's right there for me. You know, you know what I mean? Like it's, so's my belly button. You know what I mean? Fully functional, but I don't have to use the motherfucker unless I want to. I feel like maybe the King of Wands is just now realizing that, because the Hermit is about introspection. It's about uh, receiving or receiving guidance from within. I mentioned this person being a leader. A leader leads in their own life. Maybe this person is just now realizing that. Like there's always something going on behind the scenes. Because you're not omnipresent. There's always something going on. And your psychic gifts give you the intelligence. And I say that like, being a part of the military or something. You have the intel, about it. Things that you don't even know how the fuck you just know. It 1000% to be true. But at the same time, you don't have to always use it. So maybe this person is just now realizing that. Nobody can really manipulate you to use your gifts. You know, um, maybe that is what the intention is, because the next card is the Seven of Swords, which is um, scheming, calculating, ulterior motives. Like I mentioned with the King of Cups, there's something else going on here, and they coming from outfield with the shit and expecting the King of Wands to intuit what it is and then provide guidance for it without them actually saying it, which we can do. No. No. Because no is a viable answer as well. No is a complete sentence as well. No. And I strongly feel like that's what this Seven of Swords is. But that also, there's an option here for him or her to disregard that. You don't have to give them anything. I mean, obviously, it's do as thou will. Whatever you want to do, you the one in control of it. I'm just saying in this reading, it seems like the King of Cups is a piece of shit. and that's manipulative. And they're coming out of nowhere with some half-assed story. I'm just going to use that as an example. A half-assed story. They know you, right? So they're going to come to you with this half-assed story that's partially true, trying to get you to take it from there and give me guidance based on this half-assed true story with half of the information missing, or incorrectly provided, which of course, even them giving you even the fact that they're even bringing you the motherfucking story, the truth. The fact that they even told you that. The fact that they even found a fucking way through the weeds on your lawn, slithered up your goddamn stairs and rang the doorbell. You already know the truth. You wouldn't be here if you know what I mean? Like, I don't, it's something, it's like, wow, how do I say that? People who don't have this perception don't understand how perception works. They don't understand it. So they don't understand how it can be so incredibly right. But again, it begins with the fact that how did you even make it here? How are you at my doorstep? The fact that you're at my door tells me everything I need to know. And then from the moment I open the door, the clock is ticking. I've already understood the situation just from opening the door, from the scent that wafted in when I grabbed the doorknob and opened the door, from the sun shining to the shadows on the ground to the mailman to the all these things are popping, or maybe that's just me. But they're calculating is just, again, their calculations will never be correct because they don't understand how perception works. They don't understand it because they don't have a detailed, they're spiritually broke. That's why the Five of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck. They don't have this option. They don't have a left hand. They don't have a belly button. So they don't understand how it works. So they honestly believe that you're stupid enough, because of course kindness is stupidity. You know how that goes, right? Kindness is just complete mental retardation and nowadays. So I'm just going to come tell you something and sneakily get you to give me an answer. And that isn't going to work. I'm just saying that because the King of Swords is the goal and the destiny. That's what's destined to happen. The lie is not, whatever that is not going to work. Again, the questioner is represented by the Six of Wands. You're already in a leadership position. You're already in the King of Swords position. You're already the High Priestess. You already have achieved. These are past tense. Have achieved. You already have victory and success. You already have respect and validation and confidence, and you have everything. You already have it. That's a proper perspective. That's very true. You're already balanced. This person is imbalanced, coming out of the woodworks, trying to imbalance you. Many people see you as inspiration to stick to your goals and move forward. which is, everybody needs that person in their life. I mean, it's just a wonder where this King of Cups is even coming from. Like, what is this King of Cups trying to prove? Like, what are you trying to prove? To yourself or to anybody else? Like, what are you trying to do? It's crazy. Wow. So you know, of course you do, the High Priestess. Of course you know. The Eight of Swords is the inner emotions, which could represent like revealing secrets and ulterior motives. You already know that this is what this King of Cups is trying to do because that is the perception. You already know. I said that. You already knew what was going on as soon as the doorbell rang. That this person is trying to make you feel powerless, make you feel like you're not a leader, make you feel like your perception is off, make you feel like, you don't know what you're talking about. Ulterior motives. You know that they have an ulterior motive. You know that this is their ulterior motive. And because of that, that is your justice. The fact that you also, knowing that this person is spiritually broke, right? This person is actually helpless because they refuse to help themselves. Because can't nobody fix your spirit. How is someone else going to fix your spirit, right? How is somebody else going to fix this type of mentality? I'm going to slither on over to somebody and intentionally try to make them feel like they aren't who they are. I'm going to make my way. This is what this King of Cups said. I'm going to make my time out of I'm going to make my way. Take time out of my day to go on over to this person and play these silly games, trying to play mind games with them. I know that they're intuitive. I know, and I said that this person knows that the King of Wands is psychic. This person knows that the King of Wands is psychic. They're gonna come to the King of fucking Wands, trying to make the King of Wands feel as though their psychic abilities isn't actually correct by giving them some sideways ass story, trying to lead them off the path, trying to lead them to believe it, when all in all, again, they don't understand what the perceptivity means. The fact that you are even standing here says everything. They don't get it. That's nuts. Okay, wrapping it on up, the final result. I mean, that makes sense why the final result is the Two of Cups. The final result is you staying balanced because you already know what the fuck is going on here. This is not something that you seen. It's like if you know your cousin's a thief, you know what I mean. You didn't put your watch away, and then now the watch is missing. You don't stand around looking shocked. You're not the type of person that's going to stand around looking shocked because you already knew. Like, you forgot to put the watch away. You fucked up. And that's gone. Your cousin will be rocking that next Christmas and act like that was his. the whole time. I'm just gonna grab some cards because this one kind of um, seems pretty obvious to me. Like for real, like this person, the King of Cups, has no idea what perceptivity means. Um, he can only conceive. He can only he can only think about what it might feel like to be a left-hand person, but he doesn't know for sure what it's like to be left-handed because he's not. So he can only act out of the knowledge or level of knowledge that he has. So he's only going to do to the level that he can, which always leaves this King of Wands in a higher position because he's the High Priestess. He's always in a higher position. Maybe that's what this King of Cups is upset about. I want to say upset, but it's really not really upset as much as it is like in disbelief. I guess disbelief or I want to say nuh-uh. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I know, it's like, water's wet and then sit there and say nuh-uh. And then touch it and looking at it and smelling it and your hair's wet, your lashes are wet, like, but still saying nuh-uh. That's how I feel about this. Like, that's how this energy feels. Like the King of Cups is like, yeah, but nuh-uh. Like trying to prove, like having no concept of or no perception of what being psychic actually means, but trying to prove that someone isn't psychic. Like, you don't even know what it means. You don't even know even a tenth of what it feels like. Like, you don't know anything about it. And then the best part is, like I said, they know you are, based on probably engagements that you've had in the past before you made it to your King of Wands, King of Swords position. You know, the number 55 is here, signifies major life changes, freedom, and adventure. It encourages embracing new opportunities and letting go of old patterns that no longer serve you, prompting personal growth and transformation. It encourages individuals to embrace new opportunities and let go of old patterns that no longer serve them. Key meanings is major life changes, step out of your comfort zone, personal growth, release fears and limitations that may be holding you back. If this person is a part of this King of Wands life, and it seems like that King of Cups is, you need to let that person go. They clearly don't believe in who you are as a person, because being psychic is not something that you asked for. It just happens. It just is. Like the color of your eyes, your eyelashes, you know, like what can you do about, your cheekbones? You know what I mean? There's literally nothing you can do about the size of your big toe. Same shit. It's literally the same thing. Something that you can't do shit about. What you gonna do? Erase it? Stop it? No. That's what I mean. This person has no perceptivity of how it works. They have no concept of how it works. Which it's a part of you. This also denotes career transitions and breaking free from stagnation. Maybe releasing this King of Cups will break you free from stagnation, because they are definitely trying to put you in the Eight of Swords, which is stagnation, right? That's what the King of Swords is. I mean, the Eight of Swords is. And there's also a spiritual significance, is a reminder of support from your spirit guides. It encourages you to trust your intuition and take bold steps towards your life purpose, reinforcing the idea that change can lead to more fulfilling and abundant life. That is right on point, I would say. I feel like it it follows up with the high priestess. So 55 is the number for this reading right here. And then S&P came out. Y, the state of Ohio, state of Tennessee, Delaware, Vermont, South Carolina, and Maryland. All right, guys. I hope this helps somebody. This is, hopefully you use your discernment. You know what I mean? So let me give you an overview. There we go. All right. Come back for the next one. Press like, subscribe, follow me. Talk to y'all later.